Salvete, Tēa Tempus I. If you're drinking your tea with me, cheers. Oh, wait. Quick. Cheers. So, let me tell you a bit about myself before we start talking about Anthropic and the Pentagon. And apparently, Sam Altman tweeted this last night. I just hopped on Twitter because I wanted to find out the Anthropic news. And last night, Sam Altman says that ChatGPT, like OpenAI, came to an agreement with the Department of War. I'm like, what? So we'll talk about that. But real quick, I wanted to say, like, I've always been someone who stayed out of the loop because honestly, I've never really cared about politics or about like news or about like gossip or any of that BS. It's never been worth it to me because I've always just been too obsessed with learning things and making shit. You know what I mean? But the thing is, I have infrastructures that I'm building. I have this business I'm building, Ecclesia Renascantia, that's my mystical church. Academia Renascantia, that's my public library that's going to have a classical academy attached to it. I'm building a lot of shit over the next 30 years, and I need people for that. And I kind of need to stay in the loop with society because I kind of need to address society so I can make sure that the infrastructures I build for people are actually aligned. So I can't just be in like hermit mode all the time. Like I actually got to like come back to the world and shit, I guess. And so last week, I started like really getting into short form through LinkedIn and then eventually Twitter and Substack, and I started getting into it. And on Twitter, I've basically had my Twitter feed curated just for like politics and for like tech stuff. So like my Twitter is basically only like AI stuff and politics stuff. Can you see it? You can't see. Can you see it? Oh, you can kind of see it. You know what I mean? So, all right, it's just not focusing. All right, you know, fuck it. But yeah, my Twitter is basically all AI stuff and politics stuff. And so Twitter's been like my main way of getting my news. Feel me? And so whenever I hop on Twitter, whenever I want to post something on there, I'll usually scroll for a little bit and I'll see the tea. And I'm like, oh shit, it's hot. We got the hot goss, baby. You feel me? And bro, when I first saw like the Pentagon like trying to get on like the like Anthropic's ass and like they were calling up Dario to the Pentagon or whatever, like when the Department of War rather called Dario up to the Pentagon, I was seeing all of that and I was like, this is really dumb. I was like, wait, hold up. So because Dario doesn't like because Anthropic doesn't want to conform with what you guys are saying about their standards for safety in terms of like mass domestic surveillance for Americans or, you know, like automated weapons, since they were holding those lines, you're now going to put them on the blacklist? It's like, what about what they're doing is that dangerous? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's so crazy how the government just tries to like manipulate people and like entities with like, you know, like power tactics and control tactics. And bro, I'm gonna be real. Big fucking respect to Anthropic and to Dario for standing on their fucking shit, bro. Like no BS. And shout out to the people at Google and OpenAI who also signed like that kind of not waiver, but like that, I forgot what it was. I think I have it on my, do I have it saved on my Twitter here? Let me see. I remember there was like this, nah, this isn't it. But basically like 200 people from Google and from OpenAI kind of signed this like document saying that like we stand with Anthropic on these terms. And so let me actually read this tweet by Sam Altman real quick. So, all right, so he says, tonight we reached an agreement with the Department of War to deploy our models in their classified network. Today, as I'm recording this, it's February 28th, so this was last night, February 27th. Tonight, we reached an agreement with the Department of War to deploy our models in their classified network. In all our interactions, the Department of War displayed a deep respect for safety and a desire to partner to achieve the best possible outcome. AI safety and wide distribution of benefits are the core of our mission. Two of our most important safety principles are prohibitions of domestic mass surveillance and human responsibility for the use of force, right? So that's exactly what Anthropic was standing on too, right? No automated mass domestic, surveillance for Americans. No mass domestic surveillance for Americans, and no automated weapons that like the AI uses. So like the human still has to be the agent, right? So OpenAI is standing on that. The Department of War agrees with these principles, reflects them in the law and policy, and we put them into our agreement. So that's good to hear. It's good to hear that the Department of War got over themselves because none of the AI piece were gonna fold. I'm really glad to hear that. That's really good, because if anyone folded, it would have been really bad, bro. Because if I'm gonna be honest, the Department of War should not have that kind of shit. Like, they just shouldn't, bro. Like, Americans already feel like not represented enough and like too spied on. It's like, oh, so you're gonna know more about us and you're still not gonna represent us. That's fucking awesome. You know what I mean? It's like, what are we talking about? We also will build technical safeguards to ensure our models behave as they should, which the Department of War also wanted. We will deploy FDEs to help with our models and to ensure their safety. We will deploy on cloud networks only. We are asking the Department of War to offer these same terms to all AI companies, which in our opinion, we think everyone should be willing to accept. We've expressed our strong desire to see things de-escalate away from legal and governmental actions and towards reasonable agreements. I'm really glad Sam said that, because I'm gonna be real, bro. Like, the fact that, like, dude, like, it's genuinely, like, in my opinion, it's really insane how the Department of War was like just hardcore threatening Anthropic. And like, bro, like I said, respect to Anthropic for not folding, bro, because they could have. And the fact that they didn't, and the fact that all the other AI companies were like, yeah, nah, we're on this same page with you, bro. Like, I can't lie, like, that's a massive fucking win for us, bro. Like, that's a really massive win in terms of like the unified front with AI, and how we're not like the AI companies aren't folding to like BS. Because the thing is, like, these AI companies, they know how dangerous it is. Like, bro, Dario, in every interview Dario's doing, he's talking about just how dangerous AI is as well. Like, he's not just like blindly talking about, oh yeah, this is the best thing ever and it's just completely safe, and nah. He's like, this has real risk and we need to address these things. And I feel like the AI companies kind of coming on this front together, being like, yeah, we're standing on these principles. We're not willing to fold on these. That's really, really important, because it shows that there's unification in that front, and that we aren't willing to act like we know what's happening when we don't. And that's really important, because the Department of War wants to just have these things so they can use it, to have more power. Of course, because the Department of War wants power. Right? America always wants more power. I mean, everyone always wants more power. Power isn't bad. Power can be bad if wielded unconsciously and not used properly for love, right? If it's used for control, for deceit, for manipulation, that's when it's a problem, right? Law and power that aren't first constrained by love, that's where shit comes bad, right? You gotta have love first, then law, then power. Power is only clean if it's constrained by love and by law. That's it. If it's aligned with love and constrained by law, then power is clean. If love is absent and there's just laws, there's constraints, but there's no reason for constraints. Like, the reason law exists is because love is infinite. However, what opposes love, right? What is opposite of love is also infinite within the polarized universe. And so we need constraints to understand, how do we actually operate within this polarized universe where certain things appear like love, but they're really not. Right? Certain things appear like we're caring about people, but it's really just masquerading as control. You know what I mean? It's very tricky. And so love first, law constrained under love, power constrained under law and love, under love and law. That's how it should go, right? Unfortunately, a lot of the American government is disconnected from like love, which is tough. Right? It was so interesting. Like, I forgot what it was. I forgot exactly the language, but I believe that like the Department of War said they wanted to use the AI for like lawful use, But the problem is their lawful use is what America deems as lawful. And what America deems as lawful is usually in aligned with how America can have more control. Not how can America have more power to enact more change in the world for a positive place. How can America become become a better place of holding differentiation, holding multiplicity, and representing people from that place? No. America just wants control so that its leaders can do what they want. You know what I mean? I mean, look at our president. You know what I mean? No judgment to Trump. He's got his own things, but it's like, you know what I'm saying, dog? Like, come on. Guy's an egomaniac, you know? So Sam Altman, and let me just finish out the tweet. He said, "We are asking the Department of War to offer these same terms to all AI companies, which in our opinion, we think everyone should be willing to accept. We've expressed our strong desire to see things de-escalate away from legal and government actions and toward reasonable agreements. We remain committed to serve all of humanity as best we can. The world is a complicated, messy, and sometimes dangerous place." Very true, very true. Very, very, very true. I think I just want to close out on this final statement. 1, massive respect to Anthropic for not folding. 2, massive respect for all the AI companies for standing with Anthropic. 3, a lot of the United States' government's problem and like military's problem is that we have law and power, but it's not for truth. It's not for love. And as long as we remain in having laws because we want control, because we want power for control, rather than we want power to enact genuine change that's going to help the most people. We want power for our own like egoic ideals rather than for what's actually best for the state, for the nation, even for the world. I don't know how we're going to solve that, but you know, that's not really a solution that comes today. You know what I mean? It's all good. We'll figure it out. Hope you've enjoyed tea time with me. Peace.